Edinburgh and the Sharks, folks. That was a pretty crazy game. Went almost to 90 minutes, but it's the Sharks away from home to get the job done. 22 points to 19. We're going to go through some key events, stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. Admittedly, this one started at 6:15 on a Sunday here in NZ, so I crawled out of bed slightly late. I missed the first try. Grant Williams intercept, though. I managed to see a replay of that one. He picked off one of the Edinburgh passes clean and, basically showed them a clean pair of heels. 7 points to nil early to the Sharks. And the Sharks seemed to have a pretty good way of it early, man. He had Ox and Chad running down the wing like he belonged there. He was into a bit of everything in this game, was old Ox. But he almost set up Williams for a second. So, very dangerous stuff from the Sharks early. And I didn't quite see the lineups as to the Sharks resting some of their players because there were some big guns missing from the Sharks side. And I've noticed the South African side's having to rotate a wee bit. Obviously, the Six Nations sides are, they've already got their Six Nations players. Like Edinburgh were pretty depleted in this one as well. So I guess it was a chance for both sides to test a bit of depth. Wes Husson finally getting a game. I haven't watched every Edinburgh game this year, to be honest, but I don't think he's played, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's played that many games. He gets a yellow card for slowing some Sharks ball down at a ruck when the Sharks are on another attacking play. So it's one of those ones where you can see why you do it. He gets a yellow card, but it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't stop the try from being scored anyway, because a couple of minutes later, Potgieter goes over on 18 minutes. Fussy, a heap of pressure, but Fussy's the one who gets an offload away and a tackle, so it's the final pass, try assist for him, and 14 points to nil. Looking pretty tidy for the Sharks boys, but the Edinburgh boys were not done. Husson comes back from his yellow card, and Velikot was looking to get some pace into the game. He took a quick tap when they had a penalty in their own half, the Edinburgh boys, and the Edinburgh offloading game gets going. Bowen Fenter with the wide pass. The prop, magic is all I can say, and Adam McBurney is the one who's able to finish it off. So some proper magic tries in this game. Back to being a little bit more game on, 14 points to 7. Some nice kicks even. I want to give the kickers some due. I mean, Velikot and Bosch had some nice touches with the boot. Certainly not flawless across the game, but there was a nice period of play. But then Immelman took the cake with a beautiful 50-22 on 34 minutes, which led directly to the second try. McBurney, basically from the resulting maul. So, that made it 14 points apiece with a great conversion. And the game's been kind of flipped on its head. And then, no way is my note on 38 minutes, because Husson chases a weak kick through after some Sharks loose ball. The Sharks did not appreciate the way he chased the ball. Listen, I think they thought he gave a wee shove onto Kerwin and Bosch, who was trying to kind of track back, but the refs disagree. There was one thing about this game, at least in the first half, the microphone was turned up very loud that you could hear both sides every little whinge and complaint saying, "Ref, that's a maul. Oh, ref, he's sealing off." Like, you could hear every little thing. Like, the players are vocal, but you could hear every single one this time. But anyway, it's a great kick and chase. Edinburgh managed to get the ball back. Fenter with the wide pass, and Immelman to finish it in the corner. It is honestly crazy stuff. So Edinburgh from being 14 points to nil down, 19-14 up at halftime. They've had 59% possession. They've had 53% territory, run meters of 281 to 250, and defenders beaten at 12 apiece. So, man, it's been a bit of a half of two halves. Sadly for Edinburgh, you don't score any second half points, which tends to be not the best way to get a win. I mean, the story of the second half is largely about missed opportunities from both sides, but they certainly gave it a crack, and the Sharks did manage to get a few points. A missed penalty. No, he got it. He misses one later. The first one he gets, Kerwin and Bosch in front to narrow the gap, 19-17. He misses one a wee bit later, like on 59 minutes, a long shot at goal, Kurrenbosch. He's got a big boot, but he didn't strike that one nicely. But prior to that, I mean, the Sharks had gone bloody close. Edinburgh managed to win a turnover. Later on, Edinburgh managed to miss touch. So a little bit of, I guess, kind of missed chances, like I say. A bit of loose ball. Ox and Chad trying a wee kick for touch. They had advantage, so it didn't matter. That's the one that they end up taking the shot for the 3, I think, but they missed that one. 61 minutes, though, not long after the Sharks have just missed the chance at 3. It looks like they've scored a try, and it is given. Van Furen is the one who gets it. It's a maul. It kind of looked like Hamish Watson might have got under it, but it was an on-field try, and the TMO couldn't see nothing. So they go with the kind of sensible option of just going with the ref and seeing the refs are on the line. The ref's in a better position. So, yeah, 22 points to 19. That's the final scoring with still more than 20 minutes to go because, as I said, the game goes to like 87 minutes. So, I mean, there's some great Sharks play. Tapawai, Tapokita, Nkunu steaming onto the ball from distance. He gets held up. He deserved the try for that run, but he doesn't get it. They go back for a high tackle penalty. The Sharks opt for the corner, not for the 3 points, but they end up getting a yellow card, the Sharks, through Carlu Sadi, despite the fact they were on attack because he croc rolls one of the Edinburgh boys. So the Sharks are kind of incredulous how it's them getting pinged, but yeah, it's a dodgy one, and you don't want to see that. I think we saw it yesterday, right, with Vermeulen for Ulster taking out Roos. So if they can pick up on it, they do need to ping that kind of thing. 70 minutes, I mean, Shield had the first of, was it the second of his 3 line breaks? They couldn't convert on any of them, though, Edinburgh. Savala went bloody close. The Sharks' defence just had to hold for ages. Eventually, Edinburgh knocked it on. 79 minutes, Edinburgh had a line out in the Sharks' half. They lost the ball. With less than a minute to go, the Sharks opt for a box kick. Now, I'm on the record as saying I don't think teams can run the clock down very long without getting penalised. I think anything over a minute and you're honestly taking, especially if you're in your own half, you're taking a pretty big risk because the game there these days is not set up for teams to just kill the ball. You inevitably end up conceding a penalty. But I reckon 40 seconds or whatever it was is doable. So the Sharks maybe should have just killed that one off. They box kick it, which does give the Edinburgh boys, I would say, a last chance, but it's the many of last chances because the Sharks give away a penalty for not rolling. So this is initially after the Edinburgh guys had a chance to run it back. So it's another last chance. Edinburgh go through some phases. They get advantage again. So they get another last chance, which they maul it, but they get advantage again. They go for the corner again. The Sharks aren't contesting it. They stop the maul. And eventually the Edinburgh boys knock it on. So the end of the game is edgy Yusuf stuff. I've just kind of done a bit of a disservice there, but it was crazy defence from the Sharks boys. They kept giving away penalties, but eventually, like I said, the Edinburgh boys just knocked it on. So they do get a losing bonus point, but they would have wanted the win. Possession finishes 59-41 to Edinburgh, territory 54-46. The run meters 522 to 446, so they edged that. The Edinburgh guys, they got 7 clean breaks to 5, but no points in that second half, eh? I mean, individuals, Immelman 100 meters run, 5 defenders beaten, plus that 50-22, plus that try. Pretty magnificent stuff. I mean, Shield comes off the bench and makes 3 clean breaks, but they can't score from any of them. Williams with that try, 96 meters. Oxenchafe, 4 defenders beaten, not bad. James Fenter, 24 tackles. So, yeah, man, the depth of both sides, like I said, pretty tested. I think they played out what was a pretty entertaining game. The crowd certainly was a big factor in the atmosphere in that game, much like the Ulster game yesterday. You could just feel the crowd. I don't know, every decision and every big mistake or every big play, you know, absolutely getting behind their boys and against the Sharks guys, which is what you want, man. You want a crowd to be part of that. So I thought they were a big factor. They'll obviously leave a bit disappointed, but yeah, hopefully pretty entertained. You guys let us know your thoughts. I thought it was a pretty good one. And yeah, if you want to watch the URC games in the States, they're on Flow Rugby. Just FYI, I'll put a link down in the description. But yeah, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.